All right, welcome back to Ozarks Live. I'm really glad to be back here and back from vacation, but it's time to get back in the kitchen. Now, here's the thing. For 10 days, I have eaten anything I wanted and drank anything I wanted anytime I wanted, so now it's time to get back to reality.
That's vacation.
Right? That's what vacation's all about.
Yes.
I know. All right, so I'm trying to work a little bit more fish into my diet, but I'm not going to go overboard with anything too healthy, okay? So this is a salmon recipe with a little indulgence. I know you like a little indulgence, okay?
That's good by me.
This is a pan-fried salmon with a garlic cream sauce. This is a recipe that I've never made. Now, here's the deal. You put the salmon in a little bit of vegetable oil on high heat for about 2 minutes on each side. So this is going. We're hoping it's going to cook while we're actually on the air here. We may have to kind of plate it up and show it to you a little bit later in the show, but we're going to do the best we can. Sometimes this does not get as hot as I would like for it to be, but it's definitely getting there. So you let that go.
Bubble.
Yeah, it's starting. Do you ever cook salmon at home?
Yeah, I have like once, but not often, no. I usually go out and get it from people who know how to make salmon.
Who know how to make it?
Yeah,
you know, I've made salmon at home, and it's been really, really good.
Oh, it's good
And I've
stuff.
made salmon at home, and it's been really dry, or it's just not been the way I wanted it to be. So I like to experiment with a little bit, which is why, you know, frankly, I picked this recipe. So I'm going to turn, well, now I need to scrape the pan just a little bit. They recommend you put the skin side down at the beginning, which is exactly what I did. So that helps kind of seal in the moisture. So I'm going to turn it over for about 2 minutes on this side, and when it starts to brown, then we're going to turn it back over and we're going to start adding the goods. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to start adding that now. We're going to add to this some garlic. I know you like garlic.
Garlic is good.
Garlic is always good.
And it's good for you.
Yep. And we can go ahead and add the garlic to the pan and let it get nice and flavorful. I put a little bit of salt and pepper on the on the fillets, not a whole lot, but just a little bit.
No,
so we're going to let this sit there for just a couple of minutes, and then we add a little bit of this right here. Where is my measuring cup? Here it is right here. We're going to add about a 1/4 cup to a 1/2 cup of our chicken broth. Now, if you have some wine, I would suggest you add a little bit of that, probably about the same amount. Okay. So add that. Let that cook.
White wine.
Yes, I would add a white wine, and they always say just add a wine that if you wouldn't drink it, you probably don't want to add it, but honestly, if you have a little bit that you don't love, go ahead and add it.
Yes.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right, so you let that boil up for a little bit, and then we're going to add what I think is about 3/4 of a cup of heavy cream.
And you can see the color of the salmon turning.
Yes.
You know, as we're here.
Yes, you can. You can indeed. All right, so I'm going to try to scoop this up just a little bit off the bottom. You can see it starting to get, and you know, you don't want it to dry out, but we do want it to be nice and creamy.
Right.
Okay, so now we're going to add a little bit of the heavy cream.
Oh, yeah.
And now there's one little trick that they recommended that we do kind of at the end of this recipe. The Parmesan is one thing you want to add because cheese is always good. But it's lemon zest. Okay?
Oh, sure.
So we're going to add a little bit of the Parmesan into the cream. Tom, this is going to be really good, I think.
I can tell. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to be a nice sauce.
It'll be a good sauce. So we're going to let this sit. It almost starts to kind of poach that salmon just slightly, and see it's not sticking anymore.
Yep.
So we're going to let that sit there and brown.
Okay.
And then when it comes time for us to add this final touch, it's something that might kind of surprise you. It's not, sorry, I'm getting stuff everywhere. It's not a lemon juice, it's a lemon zest.
Yes.
Okay? So if you don't have a zester like this, I highly recommend you get one. And so you let this keep cooking down because it will reduce.
Yes.
Okay, and then you're just going to zest the lemon right on top.
Just adds a little bit of that lemon flavor to it.
Adds just a little bit and adds a little citrus to it, and it should be great.
This is going to be really good.
Let's add the rest of that in there. So this should be, I'm going to go ahead and turn these back over again.
Okay.
Oh, those look good. Those are going to be real good.
Yeah,
now listen, if you don't like the skin, just, it slips off really, really easily.
You can get rid of skin on salmon pretty easily.
And you know, some people really like that part. I don't care one way or the other. It just doesn't look all that great, but it's not bad. So there you go. I mean, that's really it.
Good.
You just kind of let this sit there, and it gets all sort of thick. And then if you'd set that plate about right there.
I will do that.
I'm going to set one of these fillets down, and then I'm just going to have you take a little bit of that parsley, that fresh parsley, and set it right on top. Okay, so there's one fillet.
All right.
There's two fillet right there. All right, with the cream sauce. Watch out, I'm going to spoon a little cream sauce on there because, you know, you can't get too much of that.
No, you cannot.
And there you go.
Oh.
Now, that was fairly easy, wouldn't you say?
Very easy.
Not a bad weeknight dinner, and it comes together in no time at all. So now, I would recommend you let that cool, and we will give it a shot. So there you go, not bad.
Very nice. Smells great. Yeah, I want to dig in right now.
I think it'll be fine.
All right, we have a lot of music coming up on today's show. Maybe we'll make Music Monday a thing. What do you think?
I'm all about that.
Yeah,
Maybe we will.
that.
First up is Holding English, so don't go anywhere. You don't want to miss it.
Yeah, we'll be right back.